Have you ever noticed how Jacksonville keeps popping up in conversation? Maybe it was a random blog post. Maybe your friend's coworker just moved here and won't shut up about how their mortgage is half what it was in Atlanta. Suddenly it's like everyone's circling Jacksonville like it's a hidden Florida cheat code. But here's what most folks miss. Jacksonville isn't just some palm tree postcard. It's big, like I'm in Duval County, but still 45 minutes from the beach big. And depending on where you land, San Marco, Nocatee, the north side, it can feel like several different cities, all trying to share the same name. But that's what makes it special and confusing. I'm not here to fluff it up. I live here, I work here, I've watched families finally breathe again under the old oaks of Mandarin, and I've watched others try to figure out how they ended up living 20 minutes from the nearest decent grocery store. Jacksonville's not obvious. Sometimes it clicks, and well, sometimes it doesn't. So if you're wondering whether this city's all hype, or if it actually delivers, I'm pulling back the curtain. No filter, no fluff, just what it's really like to live here, and whether this city might be the reset you didn't even know you needed. It didn't arrive with fireworks. It crept into the spotlight like one moving truck at a time. While the rest of the state was chasing flash, Jax just stayed quiet, spacious, scrappy. It never asked for headlines. But the kind of people looking for a fresh start, they started paying attention. Not just because it's less expensive, but because it breathes differently. You've got locals planting roots and remote workers showing up to neighborhood cookouts 3 weeks in. Retirees trading homeowners associations for oak trees, families stumbling into their forever zip code on accident. This place is figuring itself out, but on its own terms. Not trying to be trendy, just trying to be livable. In that low-key energy, it's picking up. So before we dive into what's blowing up, let's talk about why Jacksonville's been pulling in so many people and what's really changing block by block. But here's what you need to know. Jacksonville didn't just get popular, it earned the momentum. The city's been building towards something for a while, and now it's hitting a stride that even locals didn't fully see coming. You've got billion-dollar projects reshaping the skyline, entire communities rising out of pine scrub and palmettos, and neighborhoods turning into ecosystems overnight. We're talking kayak launches next to coffee shops, dog parks with food trucks, and kids splashing the community fountains while adults compare local breweries under string lights. You don't just see the shift, you live it the second you step in. They're showing up from across the country, New York, Illinois, California, expecting Florida light, and realizing Jacksonville's more like Florida wide. Space, calm, community in a way that isn't forced or fake. Even the airport's scaling up. Expressways are being carved out, and yeah, we're hearing serious chatter about a regional rail finally becoming a thing. This isn't a someday market, it's a now moment. But here's the thing, growth this fast always brings friction. Prices have ticked up, some areas are overwhelmed trying to keep their original identity, and if you're not paying attention, it's easy to land in the wrong vibe just because the photos look good. That's why we do this. We don't just unlock doors. We walk the neighborhoods, study the shifts, and help people find the version of Jacksonville that fits their life best. So if Jacksonville's even on your radar, don't guess. Our real estate team is on the ground every single day, and we know this city block by block. All our info is right here on the screen and down in the description. When you're ready to go from maybe to making it happen, just reach out because we want to be your Jacksonville real estate team of choice. The city's evolving fast, but it's not just the skyline that's changing, it's the people. And the wild part, they're landing in places no one saw coming. They're not coming here because some influencer said, hey, Florida's hot. They're coming because of something deeper clicked. And Jacksonville's the only place that checked all the right boxes without checking their soul at the door. We've helped a mix of folks make the leap here, and every story hits different. There was a couple from Portland, spent years squeezed into a 900 square foot walk-up with no parking, no yard, and a dog that was losing its mind. They flew in looking for a break from the noise, ended up buying a place in Mandarin with a backyard full of shade and silence. I remember the wife standing on the porch, glass of wine in hand, going, I didn't know the air could feel like this. That's when you know it's real. Then we had a young family out of New Jersey. Remote work gave them all kinds of options, but affordability narrowed the field fast. They thought they'd land near the beaches. It's flashy, right? But once we walked them through a home in Bartram Park, close to the schools, the green space, their whole vibe changed. It wasn't about the palm trees, it was about the breathing room. We've seen retired couples ditch their city condos for Ortega, chasing slow mornings, historic charm, and streets where people still wave hello. We've seen single buyers fall for Riverside's personality, coffee shops on every corner, and in a neighborhood that doesn't feel copy and pasted. Some expect to land in master plan perfection. Some didn't even know what they were looking for until the right block found them. But not everyone nails it the first time. One guy came down dead set on the beaches until we talked HOA fees, flood insurance, and realized his commute would eat into his week. We pivoted to St. Augustine, and now he's got a backyard garden, a smoker, and a group chat with every neighbor on his block. And that's the thing. Zillow can't tell you what's going to feel right. Jacksonville's rhythm isn't loud or obvious. It's found in the pauses. The space between work and weekend. The walk from your driveway to your neighbor's porch, and the first Saturday that actually feels like yours again. Now I want to hear from you. If you were making the move, what would you be chasing? A big yard, a tight-knit street, hidden trails, or a happy hour on the river? Drop your dream vibe in the comments. I seriously love hearing how people picture their home. Because up next, we're going to talk about the side of Jacksonville no headlight reel warns you about, the daily rhythm, the trade-offs, and the stuff you only learn once you're in it. Here's what no one puts on the moving brochure. Jacksonville's real, it's raw, and it's going to test you a little before it lets you settle in. The space, unreal. You get more square footage, more yard, more air, no doubt. But what they don't always tell you is how much of that comes with trade-offs. This city stretches, and not a few exits long. I mean, you better know where you're going, or you'll burn half a day still trying to be in Duval. We've worked with people who showed up chasing suburban calm, only to realize they were spending hours a week white-knuckling it on 295 just to make life work. You pick the wrong area for your rhythm, it's gonna feel like a mismatch real quick. And yeah, the weather doesn't ease you in either. Humidity shows up with a wave. Storms don't ask, they show up. We had a family from Minnesota relocate last summer. Total culture shock. First week here, thunder rolled in like it had something to prove. I remember the dad texting me, "Do storms here always sound like jet engines?" Now, he's got rain boots by the door and a group chat with 3 neighbors who grill in the garage when the clouds roll in. But beyond the weather and the sprawl, it's the small things that surprise people most. Flood zones that mess with your insurance, hidden HOA rules you didn't catch in the listing, neighborhoods that look great on paper but feel like ghost towns after 7 p.m. Jacksonville doesn't spoon feed you lifestyle. You have to step in, get a little lost, and figure it out block by block. And where do you? That's when it lands. You'll be sitting on your porch in Murray Hill, breeze cutting through the oak trees, drink in hand, and the neighborhood feels like it's breathing with you. Or walk the river walk in San Marco, just as the sky starts to flip orange, and some guy jogging past you throws you a wave like you've lived there for years. Jacksonville doesn't hand you its story. You've got to walk it, feel it, and let it reveal itself one block at a time. Some areas feel like they were built for Instagram. They're polished, amenity-packed, and just waiting for a golf cart parade. Others? A little unfiltered, a little wild, but real. Let's start with what's clicking right now. St. Johns County is a magnet, and it's not hard to see why. The schools are top-tiered, the parks are everywhere, and the homes? You actually get space to breathe. Neighborhoods like Silverleaf and Palencia are drawing families in from all over. People chasing community events, splash parks, and streets that feel like they were planned for connection. Then there's Nocatee, easily one of the most talked about master plan communities in Florida. Resort-style pools, walkable town centers, miles of trails. Some folks visit once and start picturing the next decade here. It's comfort-forward living that's hard to unsee. But for others, perfect feels a little too polished. They're heading to a place like Riverside, where every block has personality, funky murals, coffee shops, and homes that don't match on purpose. Or Mandarin, where shade trees, slower mornings, and wide lots offer a kind of peace you can't build new. No matter what your pace is, there's a pocket in Jacksonville that probably fits it. But here's what matters just as much as where people are moving, where the city is going next. Because the growth here, it's not slowing down, it's speeding up. And Jacksonville's on the edge of a full-scale evolution. Downtown's finally seeing the kind of investment it's been promised for years. We're talking riverfront redevelopment that includes parks, mixed-use space, and a downtown that actually lives past 5 p.m. Massive infrastructure upgrades, new expressways, smarter road systems, and long overdue investments in mobility. Talk of a regional rail that could finally connect the sprawl makes it easier to live in one area and work in another without burning a tank of gas a week. And don't overlook how much new construction is coming online. Builders aren't just guessing. They're betting big on Jacksonville. Just drive through the outskirts of Silverleaf or Durban and count the cranes. All of this, it's not hype, it's momentum. The kind that shapes future value, commute patterns, and lifestyle at a citywide level. So yeah, some of the best places to live in Jacksonville are already built. But the next wave, it's already forming. And the people who make smart moves now, they're going to be ahead of it. You don't move to Jacksonville for a layout, you move for a lifestyle. So now the real question is, does the lifestyle live up to the hype? We're not here to sell you sunshine. Jacksonville didn't suddenly get cool overnight. It's been putting in the work, quietly, relentlessly. While everyone was pointing cameras at the flashier areas, this city was building something solid. The growth, it's real, but not just measured in cranes and construction. It's in the conversations happening at backyard barbecues, the local brewery, launches that draw crowds every weekend, and the number of families trading concrete for tree-lined streets. What used to feel like maybe someday has started to feel like right now. We're seeing people find their rhythm here. Not because it's trending, but because it gives them space to breathe, to reset, to build. We had a family move here from Jersey tell us, we didn't move for the weather. We moved for a different kind of life. Now they're walking their kids to school in Nocatee. Weekends are farmers markets and paddleboarding, and their biggest complaint is figuring out which food truck to hit first. But that doesn't mean it's all smooth sailing. You'll still deal with flood zone headaches in some pockets, commutes that sneak up on you if you didn't plan ahead, summer heat that wraps around you like a second skin. But if you're prepared, it works. Because once you know your lane, whether it's the front porch vibe in San Marco, the energy of Riverside, or the quiet sprawl of St. John's, you stop feeling like a guest. You feel like you belong. This city isn't trying to impress you with sizzle. It's here to show you what's possible if you want to trade in the grind for something that actually makes sense. So yeah, you're asking whether the hype is real? It is, but only if you're ready to go deeper than the postcards and drone shots. Because in Jacksonville, it's not about chasing a dream. It's about finally living it. And what's next for the city? That's the part that might just surprise you. If Jacksonville's starting to feel like more than just a pin on a map, don't try to figure it out solo. This city doesn't sell itself with postcards. You've got to walk the blocks, feel the rhythm, and figure out which corner of Jax fits your version of home. Whether that's a shaded cul-de-sac in Mandarin, a townhouse steps from the Riverwalk, or something a little off-grid with a fire pit and no HOA. Our real estate team helps people make that move every single week. We've done this. We live this. And if you're serious, or even just curious, you'll find our info right there in the description. Call us, text us, send the smoke signal. We'll help you cut through the noise, ask the right questions, and land somewhere that actually feels like yours. Still early in the process? That's cool too. We've got playlists packed with neighborhood tours, hyper-local advice, and all the stuff that those glossy relocation blogs conveniently leave out. As always, thanks for watching. We appreciate you hanging out with us, and we'll catch you on the next one. Also, special thanks to Ashley Homes for letting us film in their model home here in Silverleaf.